Once again, I am Landon Carrico coming to you live from the basement. It's just the basement. And joined by very colorful color commentator HP on the screen. HP, we've got ourselves a 3-11 matchup. And knowing our streak of luck, another blowout in Duke Xavier.
This will be a basketball game played by two basketball teams.
There will be.
Both teams brought their own basketball spears, and they each have basketball shirts for every player. This should be a good one.
This should be a good one indeed. That's the traditional TNS insight that we bring to the table every single dang day. HP, I think we all know the answer to this. Who do you have here, and by how much?
Yeah, I made a very big mistake in this last game by thinking that it wouldn't be an epic blowout. So give me Duke by 25 points today.
Dear God. Yeah, I'm probably going to agree here. I'll go Duke by... God, I feel terrible saying 30, so I'll say 22. All right, let's just get it underway. Folks, if we're going to talk about how much of a bad streak HP and I have with drafting as we draft games to call, we just did Louisville Ohio State. If you just tuned in, and it was an over 20-point blow. It was a 21-point blowout, and in the meantime, on the other side, we have a Sweet 16 of UC Irvine and Eastern Washington. All of which have been close games in which UC Irvine came back from 17 points on the Hutch and Huber podcast. Check out their work. To beat the East Tennessee State University team that is no longer a team after losing that heartbreaker. Also, 98.9 The Flex. I'm pretty sure that is iHeartRadio in Louisville, but fair enough. We get Coach K there. Not a bad... Actually, that's not bad for Coach K. Still kind of looks like Vinny Del Negro, but... It's interesting, I guess. HP, is there anything that stands out to you about this matchup? I'm very interested in seeing Paul Scruggs and Cassius Stanley, just because I think Cassius Stanley's
pretty... To be honest with you, no. I really can't think of anything interesting to talk about with this matchup, with the inevitable annihilation that's coming our way, but I guess we are contractually obligated to watch and find out if there is another blowout coming down the docket.
Well, we'll see if Xavier can hedge everyone's bets, or if HP and I become rich men, probably making 500 Iraqi dinar on this game, as a certain Crimson Corey person would say.
Remember, the revaluation is coming.
And not even 10 seconds in, Quentin Gooden already fouls. Oh, you love to see this.
Jack. Crimson Corey, I know. Well, they did finally come under new ownership. I'm sad to see the old Crimson Corey. I'm sad to see the old Crimson Corey leaders all step down, but I think they're in good hands. It'll be an entertaining quote-unquote blog to follow.
I'm excited about it. I mean, the ownership change, it's not what you'd like to see, but it's good. I mean, who's the guy taking over control?
Mike Miller, who was wrote about IU, I believe, until last season, the end of last season. So as Duke hits a 3 to go up early, in which they will inevitably never lose the lead.
By Bill Walton's favorite player of all time, Trey Jones. I'm just kidding.
Oh, we got to talk about Bill Walton here. Okay, how do you like or dislike Bill Walton calling basketball games? I am 100% pro Bill Walton.
I think he gets annoying at times, but I started to warm up to him. Let me say...
I disagree. Bill Walton is never annoying. He's just hilarious.
Let me say this. No, he's gotten better with it. Bill Walton is either the biggest troll in the world, or he has, as the kids say, absolutely no chill. Because watching him and Jeremy Shiambi call games is hilarious. Or is it John or Jeremy?
I think it's Dave Pashis who he usually calls games with.
Well, he did a few games with Shiambi out in Maui a couple years ago, and I felt bad for Shiambi. Like, he kept going at Shiambi, like, for no reason. It's like, what the heck? Yeah, I think Pash is the only one that can tolerate Walton. I don't know.
The Bill Walton.
The Bill Walton. Oh, Marshall beats the shot clock with the 3. I think the interesting thing is, like, Walton, until, like, the last few years, was never like that. Like, if you go back and listen to his old NBA calls.
No, he used to be, like, a serious NBA commentator on, like, ABC and stuff like that.
And then he met Snoop Dogg, HP. And then he met Snoop Dogg.
Have you seen, I think Bill Walton's like a Zen garden, I think.
I would not be shocked by that. He's probably got a garden of something else if I'm implying, if you understand my implications, or what I'm implying. It's Scruggs, and his foot's on the line, but he hits the jumper nonetheless. Southport's finest, Paul Scruggs, puts Xavier up 5-3 to start the game.
Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to associate Paul Scruggs with anything besides the game where Romeo scored like 40 points in front of Rick Pitino.
Vernon Carey with the no-look alley-oop. Dude, that was such a terrible day because UK lost in Providence High School, our alma mater lost. But just watching Rick Pitino getting mobbed by every single person. Quentin Good knocks down the jumper. Watching Rick Pitino get mobbed and just politely shooing everybody away was one of the funniest things I didn't know I needed to see. But
Romeo Langford, the greatest prospect he's ever seen, obviously.
Other than Sebastian Telfair, of course, as Paul Scruggs comes up, the fast break, and the mamma jamma. That's as Rod Libbs would say, that's a bad man. Clearly not what Mark Jackson would say. Wendell Moore really picked it up late for Duke.
Gundy was calling this game. What would he be saying right now?
Words that would be funny, yet also confusing at the same time. As Vernon Carey goes up with the strong.
Criticizing like the state of the NCAA, like criticizing the Jeff Van Gundy likes to go at like the player rep conversations that happened during the game.
He loves.
Someone actually wrote a story about this year that ESPN's like A team for the NBA, or at least the one they tried out as the A team. Mike Breen, Mark Jackson, and Jeff Van Gundy. They just hate the NBA.
Well, they hate the NBA, and the foul on Jack White. They hate the NBA because everybody's like cool with each other nowadays. Like there aren't
they always like talk about like replay and stuff like that. It's just constant like anger.
But what's funny is when Giannis and James Harden got into it, Van Gundy was like a monkey with syllables. Yes, this is what we want. Like right here, like that's the old school '90s basketball. Get into it. It's like, dude, who cares? It's like it's cool, but like I just want to see a good game. I don't need a Derek Fisher, Matt Barnes, like where Matt Barnes is driving to Derek Fisher's house at 2 a.m. Like I don't need that. Like it's okay. It adds to the entertainment as Jack White picks up his second, but I don't need it like you guys do. Like you guys act like you lost a bet if there's not a fight in the tunnel before the game.
Broadcasting a 2K tournament between NBA players, Harrison Barnes and Trae Young on tonight. So this is if you want sports. If you want sports content, this is what we've sunk to now.
Absolutely. Kevin Durant is apparently the 1 seed. He will lose and then join the winner of his matchup in order to get the ring. I do not make many KD jokes like that, but it just feels appropriate for this show. Cassius Stanley tries to get something going between his legs. No good.
They need to trade Cassius Stanley. Get Cassius Winston on their team.
Of course.
Cassius Winston, honestly, that is kind of weird that Cassius Winston's not going to get, like, the swan song for the senior year of the NCAA tournament.
He deserved it.
I haven't really thought about, like, the players that we're not going to get to see because of, the coronavirus and the canceling of the NCAA tournament here.
He deserved it. Like, what happened with it?
It's interesting, honestly, just go through all the players that we're not going to get to see again, like Obi Toppin. Never got his chance to be really rise to the forefront of the national stage this year.
With everything that happened with his brother, he deserved it. Like, I don't know. Gooden drives, and the contested, tough man, world's strongest man layup. Xavier, surprisingly, has not gone away just yet, even though we're less than 6 minutes into the game. Xavier up 13-11, my apologies, on the Blue Devils as Jones drives, stops, brings it back out to the wing, less than 5 on the shot clock, gets it down to Carey with 1. Can he get the shot off in time? He does. Beats the buzzer, does not make the jumper. Is it Jones out with the rebound, out to Gooden. Out to Najee Marshall. Loses it. Can he pick it up? Picks it back up, and he's fouled by Matthew Hurt. Matthew Hurt looks so much older on this game than he does in real life.
Yeah, he really does.
Like, Matthew Hurt in real life looks like he's 16. Like, it just... this game, he's so much older in this game. Najee Marshall hits the first. Can he hit the second? He does. Xavier up 15-11 on the Blue Devils with 13:37 left to go in the first half. Jones out to Matthew Hurt. They need to get something going as they get it out to Jordan Goldwire. Goldwire drives. The and one with the layup for Jordan Goldwire. Nothing but nylon. Goldwire with the layup and the free throw, and it's good. Kai Tandy, former Kentucky high school basketball standout Kai Tandy.
Yeah, that was a weird one, honestly. I remember that recruitment a couple of years ago.
Well, it didn't help when his dad, as I've said this before, but I'll say it again, it didn't help that his dad said that if Kai was not starting for Kentucky, then they could. He basically said if he wasn't starting in Kentucky, then Kentucky should just stop talking to him. It's like, dude, you're a 3-star prospect that hasn't played anybody. Matthew Hurt up with the and one. Like, you're good, but you're about Dominique Hawkins level. And we all saw how many minutes a game Dominique Hawkins played and how many games Dominique Hawkins started a Kentucky uniform. He didn't. So, I don't know. Dominique Hawkins, by the way, one of my favorite underrated UK players of all time. Like, didn't play a whole ton, but my God, was he reliable. Speaking of reliable, Matthew Hurt puts Duke back up 17-15. All right, maybe that's a stretch because I don't think Matthew Hurt's quote-unquote reliable. But, oh, speaking of reliable, though, Bishop from the corner for 3. Xavier goes back up 18-17. In interesting Duke news, they received a commitment from Columbia big man Patrick Tapay a few days ago, and in the last 24 hours, Tapay has decommitted from the Blue Devils. Now, for most,
that's a quick turnaround.
Well, for most fans, this might indicate that Vernon Carey's coming back as Delorier with the block. However, Evan Daniels and a bunch of other big-time analysts have suggested that Tapay will be going to Syracuse, as there had been a change in the scholarship situation, and Tapay had always wanted to go to Syracuse. I think he's from the area. It's Joey Baker with the tough layup.
I think, imagine if Vernon Carey came back next year. That would be ridiculous.
K has done crazy, or has made crazier things happen. I will say that much. Like, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, somebody that he's made come back that it was just like, what the heck? I don't know. Getting Kyle Singler to come back was pretty good. Kai Tandy, no good.
Yeah, Kyle Singler, that's an old one. That was like the 2010 Duke team.
Mm-hmm. Apparently Zion Williamson wanted to come back to Duke. How much of that I believe, I don't know.
Well, that is true. That's one of those things where after the fact you can say you wanted to do whatever you want. But
well,
I mean,
I can actually, and this is going to be criticized, I can believe that with him. Because,
no, I really can. He really seemed like he loved playing at Duke. And honestly, Zion could have left any time for the NBA and we've seen the first overall pick.
Right, and we've seen that with a few UK guys too. And the only reason I'm not talking about Louisville is because I'm not as familiar with the situation there. But like I remember very vividly DeMarcus Cousins, who was a consensus top 5 pick, not the number 1 pick like Zion, saying like I wanted to come back. Coach Cal told me, no, you're gone, you're ready, you have to, like you got to go. And like DeMarcus Cousins, like I said, guaranteed top 5 pick. As Moore goes up with the layup, Zion Williamson, I just think like in the realm of Cousins, just enjoyed college basketball so much, and I that does not shock me with Zion Williamson. Now a guy like R.J. Barrett, that would shock me because Barrett just kind of seemed like he didn't enjoy playing as much second fiddle in the putback by Delorier to Zion. But, yeah, I can see it. As Duke only up 1, though, HP. Knock on wood. We got a close one right now as Moore tries to put Xavier up ahead. He drives the layup. No good. Rebound to Delorier. After 10 minutes, we got a good one here, folks. The Blue Devils lead the Musketeers by 1, 21-20, with 10 to go in the first half. Yeah, it would be scary for Duke, though, if Vernon Carey came back. Because they got a heck of a class coming in next year, too. But I don't think he will. Personally, Trey Jones is gone. It wouldn't surprise me if Matthew Hurt transfers out. But Duke has some good depth pieces, and they'll have some good talent, or some good skill players too, especially on the way of top-end talent. As Moore takes another jumper, got it. Xavier takes the lead. So we'll see. Alex O'Connell is also transferring out for Duke. Big shooter that Duke limited his minutes at the end of the year. He was losing minutes to Joey Baker or even Justin Robinson, who was a revelation for Duke at the end of the year. And yes, folks, I understand that Justin Robinson and Alex O'Connell do not play the same position. But Coach K emphasized a big lineup at the end of the year, putting Robinson in at the end of games as Fremantle with the block. Speaking of bench options, Fremantle's been great for Xavier as Bishop finishes to put the Musketeers up 3. 3 Musketeers. Couldn't help it. Connell trying to get something going here, trying to tie the game, or only put Duke down 1 as Joey Baker dances with it. Out to Delorier. Delorier tries to get something going with the layup, and he does. A little Picasso with the creative finish. 24-23 still Xavier. Moore out to Bishop. Bishop with 7 on the clock. Out to Fremantle. He's in the key. Kai out to Bishop. Back to Fremantle. He's got to throw one up, and he does. Beats the shot clock, but cannot make it. As the rebound is extended out to O'Connell. He drives out to Baker at the elbow. Baker brings it out wisely to Goldwire. Goldwire out to O'Connell. Faces up. Now back to the basket. He's got open lane. The scoop shot. Good. Little bearing twist. A little DQ with the soft serve scoop. 25-24. Duke goes back on top with 7:36 left to go in the first half. Out to Ramsey. And pickpocketed. Goldwire out in the rush. Usain Bolt with the drive and the finish. Duke back up 3 right now. HP, we've got ourselves a thriller as Xavier takes a timeout.
Travis Steele wants to talk it over. Blue Devils lead by 3. I love how everyone's sleeves don't match their uniforms. That cracks me up in this game.
It's the St. Anthony's fan club. It's the dance team. Let's go. The Bears. Still not as good as the Dogs.
The Dogs.
Oh, and the pick. Trey Jones looking like Revis Island out there, and he drives. No good, but he's fouled by Carter on the play.
All right, so you get Wisconsin on a Friday night. They're going to be looking ahead. It's a trap game. You have 3 cupcakes after that. You only need 1 of Ohio State and Michigan. Landon, you have nothing to add to this conversation.
I don't know what we're talking about.
We're talking about 9 Indiana, of course.
Oh.
What else would we be talking about during this basketball broadcast?
When the heck did we bring up 9 Indiana?
I did just now. They're going to Madison on a Friday night. You know, the Badgers are going to be looking ahead. The fans, you know, they might not be terribly motivated to support their Badgers this year with lowly Indiana coming to Madison. So no better time for a good old trap game than.
Absolutely, as Griffin Sneakily, speaking of sneakily, Carey misses that one. Griffin clasps his hands together in a Dr. Evil-like finish. Carter drives, kicks it out to Marshall. Marshall for three. Bullseye! 29-29. We've got ourselves a ball game, folks, and I'm not talking about
we're having a good game to watch right now.
I'm not talking about the one that you're mandated to show up to. I'm talking about an actual good one. Justin Robinson drives, not his skill set, but the pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound out to Ramsey. Gooden running with it. Gooden stops, pops out to Scruggs. Scruggs, no good. Rebound out to Cassius Stanley. Stanley, oh, and he went up for the oop, but it was blocked by Ramsey. Ramsey out to Gooden. Gooden stops, looks for numbers. Pass to a cutting Marshall with the dunk. We are Marshall.
Right now?
I'm sorry?
Is that a Xavier lead?
It is a Xavier lead, 31-29 Musketeers. As Trey Jones drives, does a little shimmy back out to Justin Robinson. Carey back out to Jones. 5 left on the shot clock. Jones drives. The layup, no good. Jack White looked like he had the rebound. It was wrestled from him. Scruggs with the spin move. Put Cassius Stanley on ice. Floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee is Paul Scruggs there. Out to Ramsey. On Jack White with 6 left on the shot clock. Out to Carter. Steps out for 3. No good. Rebound out to Jack White. Out to Robinson. They really don't want to do this. Robinson's not known as a ball handler.
Did you say the Carter a second ago?
No, but I do enjoy me a good Lil Wayne reference.
That's what that sounded like. It sounded like you said that.
If Carter hits a 3, I'll go, the Carter 3. But I don't think it's going to happen. It's Carey, though. Not to be confused with your grandpa's Harry Carey, but that is Vernon Carey. As Carey ties the game for the Blue Devils, 31-31. We've got ourselves a heck of a matchup here, folks. Najee, McConaughey, Marshall drives to the cup, and the foul on Vernon Carey. Najee hits the first. I swear, with those red, the red undershirts, it looks like the Jordan game right now, or the McDonald's game. Like the Unis HP.
Oh, yeah.
Trey Jones drives. Oh, the little guy!
Did we know Trey Jones could get up like that?
No, we did not, and I'm glad I'm here for it. Woo! A little bit of the little fella with the big man finish. And Wendell Moore looked like it may have been off Marshall, but it's not. Xavier retains the ball with 13 left on the shot clock, and 3:48 left to go in this half. Tie game as Gooden sits in the corner, tries to get something going. Out to Jones at the elbow. Nothing going. He's got 3 on the shot clock. He's going to have to force one up, and he does. And no good. Cassius Stanley with the board. A tight pass to Moore. Could have been pickpocketed, but he's fouled instead by Najee Marshall. Out to Jones. Matthew Hurt checks back into the game for the Devils. Cassius Stanley at the elbow. He's got enough explosiveness that he could be dangerous at that point. He gets an open look for a jumper, doesn't take it, drives out to Vernon Carey with 2 on the shot clock. Carey with the beautiful move. By God, as Jim Ross would say, what a beautiful move to the offhand to put the Blue Devils up 35-33. Marshall trying to be the hero. He's got open teammates there. They're Gooden for the dunk. HP, knock on wood, cross your fingers, say a prayer, do whatever you have to do because we're finally getting a close one, it looks like. As Carey at the top of the key, not known for his 3-point abilities, with 10 on the shot clock, he's going to wisely pass it out to Stanley. Stanley with the oop to Vernon Carey! Woo!
You know, we're actually getting good content to talk about here.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about Starboy or Beauty Behind the Madness. I was about to say, at this rate, we're going to have to review Raekwon's only built for Cuban links, but we're not going to. As Marshall gets it out to Quentin Gooden. Gooden drives, can't get anything going. Najee's going to have to force one up, no good. And rebound out to grown man-child Matthew Hurt. Emphasis on child as Jones takes it out at the top of the key. Jones drives, can't get anything going. Cannot get anything going. Can't is not a word. Gooden drives after the missed layup. Gooden out to Scruggs. They need to get Scruggs going here. Jones spins with the 1970s Rucker Park haircut and headband. He gets it out to Quentin Gooden, who is pickpocketed against his own steal out to... Oh, and a tip in! We got a tip in there. Huh.
Look at Xavier rise as one.
And that's the one shining moment that we all strive to hear. Even though it's only the round of 32, Stanley drives and he's fouled by Paul Scruggs. Mama doesn't want no Scruggs, but she does want Paul Scruggs, or at least Xavier wants Paul Scruggs to keep playing at the high level Xavier fans have been accustomed to all year as Duke goes back up 39-37. And both teams are hitting their free throws, HP. That's what we love here at TNS. Not the flashy Pete Maravich plays, but the fundamentals, as Jared would say. Actually forget that. We enjoy the flashy passes. Moore out to Jones at the free throw line. Duke leads 39-37 with 40 seconds left to go. 7 on the shot clock. Stanley has to get something going here. He tries putting it between his legs. He drives. He's cut off. 1 on the shot clock. The foul. He's bailed out on a questionable foul call by Freemantle. Even in a video game, Duke getting very questionable calls, to say the least, as Cassius Stanley hits the first.
And we like that, folks.
Let's go, Duke. Come on, Duke. Let's go, Duke.
Come on, Duke. Let's go, Duke. Let's go, Duke. Electric.
The electric atmosphere from the Cameron Crazies. Jones drives, gets it out to Moore. Moore out to Tandy. Bishop trying to get something going. 7 on the shot clock. Out to Jones. Tandy out to Bishop. Bishop has to throw something up. He's got a three-pointer. No good. Delorier with a tough rebound. They got 4 seconds left. Goldwire's got to drive. It looks like he's going to take the 3. Got it! Above the buzzer! Woo! That's a bad man right there, HP. That's FBI's most wanted.
Gold wire, gold sleeve, golden touch from 3. Duke, 3 possessions up. Xavier on the ropes a little bit heading into halftime.
Kenny finally smiles. That's what we want to see. Forget the content of this game. We just need to check on Kenny. Blue Devils up 44-37. HP, normally this is around Shaq gives us a thumbs up in the number 1. This is normally around the time that a team like Duke in our matchups just starts to blow away the competition. Hopefully that is not the case. Oh no. I feel like this is the time where Hutch and Huber would say Jay Williams needs to get off the bike, but I cannot say that.
Well, you just said it, kid.
I did not say it, I implied it. Speaking of things that were said, the St. Anthony's Bears fan account said yeah after we shouted them out earlier with the St. Anthony's Dance Club that was out on the court earlier for this round of 32 matchup.
Well, Xavier, it's the ball to start the half here. We'll see if they can actually make this game unlike every other game we've called.
Well, not a good start when Xavier misses their first possession. Out to Cassius Stanley. Jack White checks back in to start the half for the Blue Devils. Jones out the top of the key to Verdon Carey. Questionably out on the exterior, out on the perimeter. Don't understand it, but I am not arguably the best coach of all time. As Wendell Moore has to throw one up. No good, in and out. Rebound out to Scruggs. Scruggs. They got to get him going. He's a catalyst for this offense. Najee Marshall cannot do it by himself. And he gets a mismatch, or he gets a matchup that he wants with Jack White on. He throws it out to a cutting Carter. cue every Lil Wayne joke that you can about that. The lead, a 2-possession ball game for Xavier, as Jones drives with the easy layup. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Trey Jones loves those shots, and he puts Duke back up 7. And then he says, nah, fam, I'm good, and fouls Quentin Gooden. That's his second. HP, were you at all shocked that Marcus Garrett received the Defensive Player of the Year nod over Trey Jones and even Ashton Higgins?
Not really. No.
Yeah, Garrett's pretty good.
Nah, I think that was the right choice.
You're not going to petition for Red Rooster? No? Stephen Enoch didn't... No
I think Malik Williams could actually be a contender for that award next year, but we'll see. Well, heck, we're not even sure if there's going to be a college basketball season next year, but...
Man, if you ask Dabo, college football is going to be back as soon as you can say the word Nickelberry. Yeah, Dabo went on and said...
There's an interesting word to drop there, but I guess it suffices for this one. Hey. Josh Nickelberry. He made a 3 in the game against Ohio State a minute ago.
Yes, he did. It was a contested classic Louisville 3 as Gooden goes up with a strong layup. The back to the basket. Looking like a young Ronaldo with the back to the goal. I was going to say something obscure, HP, well, not Thierry Henry. He's not obscure.
Yeah, he's definitely not obscure.
Neither is Dennis Bergkamp, but I was going to say it anyway. I feel like you're the only person in this chat that knows that. Scruggs with the take, can't get it to go. Paul Scruggs says, cool down like a cool, crisp popsicle on a June summer day. Jones out to Stanley with the tip. Looked like a tip. It wasn't oop at the very least. 48-41 Duke. Xavier, though, not going away just yet. Out to Gooden, out to Carter. Carter trying to get something going, passes it down to Jones, and he's stuffed. He threw it right at Carey's hand, but the rebound out to Carter. 5 on the shot clock. They got to get something going. Marshall out to Gooden, out to Carter. He's not going to beat the shot clock, and that's a shot clock violation. As Jack White high-fives every single teammate on the Duke bench, including player reserve. And set to check into the game is Joey Baker, and it looks like Alex O'Connell for the Blue Devils. Wendell Moore and Cassius Stanley check out as Duke leads 48-41 with 16:37 left to go in the game. Carey out to Baker. Out to Jones. Jones is doubled, finds a cutting Joey Baker who cannot hit it. A little too much force, a little too much of a baker's dozen right there. As he finds Paul Scruggs with the and-one dunk. Did somebody say 3M? Because he just put him on a poster right there. As he hits the free throw. Xavier's not going away just yet, HP. That's the Big East representing right there. 48-44 Duke. With a little over 16 to go in the game. As O'Connell catches it out at the top of the key. Drives. Can't get anything going. Back out to Trey Jones. Jones with less than 2 on the shot clock. He's going to have to heave one up. Heave, hove, nada. Shot clock violation. HP, do you think Xavier is going to come back and win this game, or are you pretty set on the assumption that Duke's going to pull away from here in the second half?
Certainly the latter, just because you know who's calling this game right now, but I suppose it could. Xavier, in theory, could win the basketball game.
Ha! Eternal Sunshine Pumper HP Robinson gives his take on who will pull away in this game. Quentin Gooden tries to silence his TNS doubter here. Out to Najee Marshall, out to Scruggs with 5 on the shot clock. Scruggs spins, drives, out to Carter. President Carter, no good. Jones drives. The tough layup, ill-advised though, as he misses. Scruggs running with it for the Musketeers. To a cutting Najee Marshall. Oh, Carey pins it, but they call a foul on Carey. That's 3 for Vernon Carey. Najee Marshall steps up to the line. Misses. First one off the back iron. And he can still make this a one-possession game. Will he do so? Yes, he will. Coach K mad that he made a free throw on the sideline over there. Still not as bad as seeing Chris Mack with hair. As Baker out to an open O'Connell for three. No good, but Justin Robinson with the rebound. No good with the putback. David Robinson would be hashtag ticked. As Kai Tandy tries to get something going here for the Musketeers. A little one-on-one action with Tyus Jones. Trey Jones, I'm sorry. Tyus Jones graduated a while back. Out to a cutting Carter. Oh, and he's pinned by Delorier, doing his best volleyball impression as Robinson gets the rebound. Looking like Misty May train.
Been there a decade comment.
Do what?
Obligatory comment that Javin Delorier has been there at least a decade.
Absolutely. As Trey Jones gets fouled and hits the first. Still not as much as Perry Ellis. Do you remember for football? Remember Cincinnati starting quarterback Tony Pike, who was there?
Yeah, Tony Pike was there for like a decade. That's no joke.
He was legit there for 6 years.
I know. That's a good reference. Honestly, that's an old one too.
Oh, speaking of good, a good pass to Moore, but he can't finish.
Lots of blown layups here in this game.
I feel like I'm at the Y. Goldwire drives the questionable foul on Fremantle. But if he can hit from the charity stripe, then, well, all of the good things go to you, Mr. Goldwire, as he hits the first and the second. Still got a good one, folks. Duke up 7, 52-45. Out to Tandy. Moore with the three. Got it! Hand in his face. 52-48 Duke with 13:28 left to go in this game. And the pickpocket Jones, though, gets it back out to Matthew Hurt at the elbow. O'Connell back to Goldwire with 10 on the shot clock. Goldwire out to Hurt. Goldwire with a contested three, no good. Rebound out to the Carter. As Lil Wayne would say, he is not a human being. What other albums? He's right above it, folks. I know Lil Wayne. I'm just going to leave it at that. Jones trying to drive, trying to get something going. Cut off as he brings it back out top for the Blue Devils. Gets a pick from Matthew Hurt. Out to a cutting Delorier. At the top of the wing is O'Connell. O'Connell down to Hurt with the post up. And with the beautiful move, and he can't finish. Fremantle with the rebound. Bishop slows it down for the Musketeers. Xavier can make this a one-possession game. And with the pull-up, ill-advised. Ill-advised is Jones with nothing but real estate ahead of him. What a play, a heads-up play by Jones to take it to the 10. As Duke leads 54-48. And what we thought would be a 25-point blowout. HP, I think the key to these games now isn't instead that we're calling it. It's just to call before the game the opposite of what you think is going to happen. It's Carter with the tough layup. Looks like Vernon Carey's set to go back in for the Blue Devils at the next changeover. Right now they could use a little bit of an offensive bolster as they remain up 4, but Xavier not going away. As Matthew Hurt with the good take. No good. Another rebound out to Fremantle. Bishop's running with it.
Duke just struggling to get anything going on the offensive end.
Oh, Carter looked like he was hacked across the body, but they do not call the foul. Jones, between his legs, looking like Disney on ice as he puts him on skates. Goldwire takes the pick from Hurt with 6 left on the shot clock. Goldwire dancing with it, looking like Kevin Costner dancing with wolves out there. And he's blocked! Another shot clock violation. A little under 11 minutes to go in the game, folks, and Duke up 54-40 in what has been an instant TNS classic for HPNI, which at this point is not saying much at all as Carter takes an ill-advised jumper. Xavier really shooting themselves in the foot.
No one has scored in about 15 minutes now. Archie Miller is coaching both teams.
Xavier pulling a Dick Cheney and just shooting themselves in the face at this point right now. Not real great right there. As Wendell Moore takes the call. 57-50 Duke as Wendell Moore comes up with a clutch three. Carter drives, no one ahead of him, and he's fouled by Jordan Goldwire. Carter, in and out, no good.
Unlucky, as they would say in football.
Carter trying not to cause a massive uproar for the upset here for Xavier. Xavier thinks they can hang with Duke here. Wouldn't be a massive upset to the Musketeer faithful if they could pull that off. The talent's there. Can they put it all together? As Duke looks like they're going to try and take this one down to the wire. Moore going to have to throw one up. Off the back. Hurt goes up with it and he beats the shot clock. They're going to review it though. It looked like he got it off. He pulls at Jared and says, "This is my court. This is my house." They're going to say, "It's good." They give him the thumbs up. Oh, the call's overturned. He didn't. Did he get it? Yes, he did get it. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Duke up 8 right now.
Xavier on the ropes here, teetering.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Xavier's going to be able to keep this close in the fourth quarter.
That was a heck of a play by Vernon Carey.
Fantastic play.
Jones. Been a very, very productive player today for Duke. Been the most consistent player for Duke today. As Cassius Stanley with 7 on the shot clock tries to get something going. Drives to the basket. The nice little runner, and he gets it with the Griffin Libs right-handed baby hook.
Duke's lead hits double digits for the first time today.
This is where the blowout happens, HP. I was wrong. I've seen this one too many times. It's good and drives. And yes, right on cue.
Here it comes.
All right, HP, you ready to talk about the weekend again? But I guess not. The Moore out to a cutting Bishop. And the and one dunk. They're not going away just yet. Folks, you've seen underdog stories like Miracle, Rudy, Rocky. Heck, what was that
Who
one?
cares?
What was that?
Dodgeball better.
Dodgeball. That one Whoopi Goldberg movie called Eddie where she coaches the New York Knicks. Who cares? Xavier better. Did you know there's a movie from the 90s where Whoopi Goldberg coached the Knicks? It's called Eddie. Eddie. Vernon Carey with the Thunder dunk. The Lord of Thunder, the God of Thunder, if you will, wants his hammer back. As he slams that one down to the court and says, "My house." Yes, in the movie Eddie with Whoopi Goldberg, she ends up winning an assistant coaching gig after sitting in the nosebleeds and winning a raffle selection. Can you imagine if they did that for a Louisville game? As Jones.
I would help them if I won the raffle.
All right, guys. We're not doing enough with our jumpers. Forget cutting.
Can you imagine Jared winning it, being the assistant coach, Jared?
No. You guys haven't seen how to run an offense. There's a main team that just passes the ball and it's a complete cut out. They don't know how to defend it. The NBA is using it. Speaking of using things, Cassius Stanley uses his superior athleticism over the Xavier defender. Cassius Stanley, one of the most versatile, just a burst of energy. One of the more high-flying diaper dandies we've seen in a long time. As Xavier, unfortunately, looks like they're going away. Wendell Moore out to Trey Jones. Out to Carey. He's not going to take the three. He's going to drive, though, and that undoubtedly is going in.
We knew it the whole way, folks.
Cue the gong. The disappointment bell reeks of havoc again. Jones drives. No good, but he gets his own rebound. Oh, Carey stuffs him, but they call him with the foul. Jones, please make it. Dear Lord, why have you forsaken Xavier? And he says, because I can. Jones misses both of them.
Oh, poor Xavier.
Wendell Moore refuses to get it out to Jack White. I don't blame him. Jack White is basically the E.J. Montgomery of Duke. Oh! Get up, big fella! Woohoo! And my best Will Smith. Woohoo! Yeah, My God, he got up! Cassius Stanley with the play of the year for TNS. I think his head was at the rim. Unfortunately, though, that means Duke is up 16 as the Musketeers take a timeout. HP, are you as depressed as I am now that Xavier's fading away?
Well, I've mentally prepared myself to what was coming, so I think I kind of knew.
Scruggs with the pull-up jumper. Jack White out to Jones. Out to Stanley. Oh! Carey with another poster dunk. Oh my gosh, yeah, Duke's taking over right now. Vernon Carey, though, picks up his fifth. Fremantle steps up to the line.
Yep.
Jones out to Moore. Moore drives with the layup. Good.
Well, I think we know what's going to happen now.
You got any obscure, well not obscure, but any music artists you want to talk about now? We covered the weekend.
I mean, to be frank here, I think the thing that's on everyone's mind is that video that Griff sent on Wednesday or whatever it was, ranking the King of the Hill characters from most to least good. From most good to most evil.
Who was the most evil? Was it Strickland?
Yeah, he had Buck as most evil, and I can't really disagree ever since he tried to frame Hank Hill for in the murder mystery episodes. I think there were like 3 of those. I think that one was pretty easy for last.
I think you thought the most controversial one was Dale Gribble.
Yeah. I want to say the bottom 4 was Dale, Cotton, Nancy, and
Peggy,
and Buck. I can't remember if Dale or Peggy. I think Peggy was actually. I think Dale was 5th from the most evil, and Peggy was 4th from the least evil.
Yeah, Peggy was.
I don't know if I can agree with that. They were pretty lenient on John Redcorn, to be honest with you. Thought they were a bit lenient with Cotton also, but then again, I suppose both do have their redeeming qualities. Bobby Hill at number 1, that was no surprise, to be frank.
Of course.
Bobby, I think in terms of if you need someone to win a dance-off for you, someone to win you a game of football, not the American kind of football, I think he may be your guy. Hank coming in at number 2, that was no surprise also. I feel like Bill could have been a controversial one. Bill, I believe, did make the top 5 for most good, But there are people in some corners of the internet that are not fans of Bill Dauterive, so I think that one might have generated some controversy, although I agreed with that one.
I haven't
Maybe a little bit too harsh on Peggy Hill also, but...
I don't know, man. Peggy's pretty self-absorbed in the series. Like,
yeah, that is true.
You feel bad.
Self-absorbed evil necessarily, I'm not sure about that. But then again,
I mean, like,
I don't know if I could have Peggy in a group with, like, Buck and Cotton. That's the only thing about that.
Dude, she poses as a nun in one episode. Why? Because she wants to get a full-time job. You remember that? What is that the one?
I actually haven't seen that one, believe it or not. I've seen way too much King of the Hill. I've seen all the classics, but I haven't seen that one.
I didn't care for it growing up, but it started to warm on me, especially since you've watched it a ton. I do have to laugh.
It's so much funnier now. It's absolutely hilarious now because it's so it's very understated. The humor is in it.
Yes, and it goes at both parties. It's not just like a one party satire. Like it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the one funny part from that episode is that the meme where it's like, I'll tell you what, that's a clean burn in hell. What was it? Who was the other one? Boomhauer was. I thought Boomhauer was a little higher than usual, but then when they justified it, that made sense.
Yeah, Boomhauer is definitely. I figured he would be like right in the middle. But you don't really hear much from Boomhauer. Dang old Boomhauer, but I guess we could do the accent around here since Boomer. Since Boomhauer does have some roots in Kentucky. If you remember the Bluegrass episode.
Yeah. Boomhauer is a Texas Ranger in the season finale.
Yeah, Boomhauer is also a Texas Ranger. We have to point that out also.
Can you imagine him pulling up as a Ranger, like stopping a car or whatever?
Okay, underrated moment was definitely... do you remember the episode where Hank goes into Dale's basement to check his birth certificate and his file and everything? And they pull it up and he's like, well, Cotton and Tilly are your parents. And then he goes, and then Hank says, place of birth, New York. You get a classic Hank Hill blah after that, but yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah. Johnny Redcord had an interesting spot on that list because they did point out, yes, he is having an affair with Luann, but to be fair, he actually has feelings for Luann.
I think,
or not Luann, I'm sorry.
Not quite, but the ethos of what you said is understood.
What's Dale's wife's name?
Nancy. She was right in the last.
Yeah. She's been going to John Redcorn for over 10 years for migraines.
For migraines, yes.
Yes. I think one of my favorite Dale Gribble moments is the pocket sand one.
Yeah, that was fantastic. The pocket sand.
Hey, let me go. Sir, I can't let you go. Pocket sand.
Remember in the election episode when Dale and Hank, Dale says they're going shopping, when in reality they go to Mexico and go south of the border, but so that he says just in case things go south after the election.
Yeah.
Dale said he would claim to be a Colombian singing sensation. I don't remember the name he used. He said he'd be a Colombian singing sensation.
It's like the time.
I'm surprised he didn't go Rusty Shackelford for that one, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, it's like that kind of reminded me. I don't know if you know this, but when O.J. Simpson, when that whole thing happened with him and the whole murder trial, when they found him, apparently this is true. When they pulled over his car on the infamous low-speed chase, as James goes up with a tough and one, they found in his car a passport and a fake goatee, fake hairpiece and goatee that he was gonna wear as a disguise.
Is that really? Where'd you see that
at? BuzzFeed Unsolved. And
that's interesting.
Can you imagine one of the most famous noticeable people on earth? Imagine Rick Pitino wearing a Fu Manchu costume or something.
Rick Pitino wearing a mustache.
Yes.
You have to compliment the mustache, the glasses and the nose clip-on that comes with it.
Well, Duke HP wins this one 79-64.
comfortably, not by 25 like I predicted, but I suppose the Duke did do the job. They'll be in the Sweet 16. Xavier's valiant run ends here. Nothing to be ashamed of.
As Vernon Carey puts up 17, Cassius Stanley 15, Trey Jones with 13, Jordan Goldwire 12 minutes, 10 points, very efficient for the Blue Devils. And on the other side, Najee Marshall and Paul Scruggs, the only scorers in double digits for the Musketeers with 13 and 11. Folks, that's going to be the end of the matchups for us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll have the schedule out if we do not already have it out for you. Once again, at Neutral Site Show, if you want to check out our earlier work, at Hutch and Huber, who we've been doing this with for the last week. Very happy with the work that we've been doing together. At Hutch and Huber, capital H in Hutch and Huber. And we're a Big Heads Media podcast. So very happy with what's going on here, folks. Hopefully we're filling that void that is in your life right now with sports as well as other things. Until then, if it's tomorrow, if it's Monday, whenever you listen to us next, or if you don't, stay safe, be cautious out there, and keep praying, keep doing whatever you need to do to get past this. And once again, thank you for filling your void by tuning into the show. So thanks again. Have a great night. And if we don't hear you for the rest of the weekend, have a great weekend. Thanks again, folks.